Hello everyone, this is my fifth demonstration video. In this video, I am going to deploy our two microservices into the AWS platform. So, as we know, we are building the three microservices, which is a part of PayPal integration. So we are building three microservices. The first one is the PayPal validation service, the second one is the PayPal processing service, and the third one is PayPal provider service. So as we know, we are currently working on the reconciliation system and building the reconciliation system, and the most of the work is completed. It is typically fully completed. So we are going to test that reconciliation system into the dev environment of AWS with the relational database system of AWS in only. So we are deploying the our Spring Boot application in EC2 machine, and the second task is to create the RDS machine in the AWS for our database. So just we are completing our reconciliation system, and that system basically mm, completes or fail, working on the success and the failure. The final status of the any transaction is basically done by the reconciliation system, means that any pending or approved transaction which is not completed due to some exception or error or internet failure from the customer, so that reconciliation system is going to make the payment in the success state or the failure state. So for that we completed it, the coding part of it we tested in our local machine. Now we are deploying in the dev environment, means we are going to test it in a live, like we are going to first deploy it on EC2 machine and with RDS, with its relational database model. Okay, so for that let's create first instance, as I earlier also make a video of it, but that is only for the basic project, like testing one controller only. But now we are deploying the two major microservices. The first one is the processing service, in which the core method or the core working of it is for it is of reconciliation system. The means that the main code of reconciliation system is under the processing service, and for calling the third party API we are also deploying the, or PayPal API we are also deploying the PayPal provider service. So we are deploying the two microservices. So let's start. I'm going to again simply create one instance. I have already created, but I have terminated or deleted that instance because of the billing issue. So let's create one instance, launch instance. Let me give it name for PayPal dev. So basically it is a dev environment, so I typically name it dev, selecting the version Amazon Linux. Okay, in this I am going to select the Amazon Linux 2, which is free. Okay, by default. Okay. Let's select one temp file. Let me check it is available. So okay, some I have deleted also, so let's create new one. PayPal dev. Okay. For testing purpose I have already created one, so let's create. Okay, let me secure this in my folder, copy. So it is when I created. Let me delete this and paste new one. Okay. And as I want to save this path, because when I'm going to connect it, I need the path. So I've already created one command file in which I have written all the commands like this one. Okay. Paste. I'm going to save. Okay, the PEM is created. SH configurations. Okay, launch instance. I think all the settings are default. Let's create it one instance. So I'm going to create the live in this video. Creating live instance means our EC2 machine in which we are going to deploy our microservices, and after that I'm going to create the RDS also. So let's check. Firstly, I created this successfully. Let's check it is running fine or not. Okay, it is running. Now let's create the RDS. Okay, for deploying our database. So I'm going to click on it, services, RDS. Let's create one database. MySQL, I'm using MySQL, so I'm going to select only MySQL. Let's load it. Okay, for free tier, I'm using free only because it is a testing purpose. Dev-environment, let me name it like PayPal dev. Okay, PayPal process. It is good. Okay, means the name div instance we have created now. Admin. Okay, let me make the password. Simple password. After that, I am going to delete it instance, so it is not going to generate any bill. So it is. I have to make this public access. So the publicly that anybody who have the password and the username like the root which can connect to it. So I am going to make it public. Others another settings default as same. Okay, let's create. So it is quite taking quite time, like 2 to 3 minutes. So while it is creating the database, let's prepare the jar of our two uh, microservices. Let's go there. Okay, so it is creating. We have successfully created our EC2 machine, and our RDS is creating. So the next step to make the jar of both the two microservices in the so while we are building the jar of these two microservices, we have to configure that the properties should our application should take the properties from the dev property, not the local one. So for that we are using some commands. Let's prepare the jar only. First let's prepare it. Firstly I'm going to deploy the processing. After that I'm going to deploy the PayPal provider service. So let's prepare the jar. of PayPal processing service. So build clean package. Okay, so hyphen p and dev. If I write dev here, so the default active property file will be the dev property file, and otherwise instead I have used local or prod. Then according to that the property file will be selected. So I'm using dev, so the property file will be for that particular jar I have created. The property file will be activated of dev for this application. So let's run. It is building. So it's building success. We prepared the jar. Let's copy this and rewrite in our path folder. Okay. So now let's check is our okay. We have successfully created our database. So let's okay, so I'm pausing that working that part of preparing jars. Let's connect to this database and write the script into it for so we can create the database and the tables of our processing services, in which we have written the all the queries and the dummy data of performing the testing of reconciliation service. So mm, let's go to workbench. I'm going to create one connection. For that, let me name as PayPal dev. All right. Okay. The one more thing I have to do for connecting. Let me go PayPal dev. Okay. Now in security, here is this and PayPal dev DP host name. It is I think admin. I think okay. It is admin. Admin. Let's test. I think I have to do one more configuration allowing the port, so I think it should fail. It is going to fail. I think I have to give some permissions for the outsider ports. Okay, let me give the permissions like from no action, no. Go to the rules. Yes, there are some rules. Identifier. I have to prefer the rule first. So okay, let's go. The default I want to I have to edit the inbound rules. Mm, security groups. Permissions one entry. Okay. Where it is the inbound rules, edit inbound rules. add rule, all traffic, custom anywhere IP 000. Okay, let's save. So after saving, let's check one more time it is connected or not. Let me test the connection. Okay, it is connected successfully. Let's open our workbench. Now we are going to write some scripts in this, so it can make the database and the tables for the working of reconciliation system under processing service. So it is created successfully. Let's add the scripts quickly. Downloads DDL. I have already prepared the script. So let's copy, Control V, copy. Let's go to the workbench, paste. I have to modify something that this thing should not be here. Grant all. It can't work here. It is going to throw some exception because in Amazon RDS we can't grant all the permissions. So let's control and fire. Okay. It is creating tables. I think it's created successfully. Refresh. Okay, we have the pay tables and we got all the tables. Let's give some dummy data to it for testing purpose. So I have DML scripts also. Let's open this and copy. Scripts, tab, no cancel. Paste a file. So it is done. Let's check our record in the transaction. Okay, we got the record successfully. These records is under the not in our local server or local MySQL. It is in the Amazon RDS. So we have successfully created the RDS in our AWS and created database and with tables and the some dummy data for testing purpose. Now um, the okay remaining part of creating. Okay, let's do this task one by one. Firstly, I'm going to uh, uh, deploy the PayPal processing service in EC2 machine. Then after that, deploying the PayPal provider service in EC2 machine only. So for that, let's open Mobex. Okay. Let's create terminal. Open new terminal. Date. Okay. Let me connect to the EC2 machine. I have already prepared the command, that is SHS command. Let me copy this PEM. This is our second PEM, and with this paste to this and IP address. I have to edit the IP address. Let me go to here, PayPal IP address. Here it is, the IP address. Copy, paste it here, paste. Okay. Let's copy the whole command. Copy and Mobex. Paste. Okay, we have connected successfully. LL, there should be nothing. So connected to the EC2. let's go to the our jar path. Here I have to place this, and this. Okay. Then copy till target. Go to here, cd, paste. Okay. We are here now. ll. We have prepared the jar. This payment processing service we have to copy to the EC2. So let's prepare the command for that. Okay, I have to install this Java also. Let's install firstly Java in our this. So let's go to the root user. We are now EC2, so super user. We can see that super user. So the command for that is sudo su. Okay, we have become the root user. Now there I am, like this. Copy and paste. So installing the Java 17 in our EC2 machine for executing our application. So it is happening fine, taking quite seconds. Okay, it is completed. Let's exit from the super user. Okay, okay, and the normal user is. Let's copy this. Now just copy the jar into our EC2 machine. For that, using scp command, I am going to edit this. Scp command dev copy. Okay, then paste PayPal processing jar, copy processing jar, paste the IP. The third one is the IP. Copy and the paste. Okay, let's copy the whole command. Paste it. It should start. Okay, it is starting copy from our local to EC2 machine, that PayPal payment processing service. Okay, it is done. Let's check it is come here fine or not. All right, we got this. Let's give the read and write permission to it. For that, this I have to use this only. Wait, ch mode 77, ch mode 777 payment tab. Okay, let's check. Okay, we have successfully give the read and write permission. So before starting this, let's copy the second microservice also. Let's open the second tab. So successfully we have copy the payment processing service, our first microservices, and successfully allow the read and write permission. Now let's prepare the jar of our second microservice. Let me close this clear PayPal provider, run as Spring Boot, not Spring Boot, build clean package -p dev. The same thing to enable the property file, dev property file. So I have given the ID is dev. Okay, here we can see that there is dev, like this, activating the dev one. Let's copy the jar. Where it is the jar? Copy, copy, copy. And take this. Copy. Let's prepare the commands quickly. Let's paste this. Paste. Okay. This, and this. Let's edit the. Okay. I have to install, copy the jar of it. Okay. So for that, let's use the whole up to, not up to, like this. Here, and the other thing will remain same because the IP is only we have deploying the second microservice in our EC2, the created EC2, that is the only one EC2 machine. So IP is same, PEM is same, all command is same. Let's go to reach the path. Copy. Okay. Sorry, CD. Reached. Reach the path. Copy the SCP. Copy. Let's enter. I think it should happen quickly. Done. Let's check here in our EC2 LL. So we got the two microservice, copy the two microservice in our EC2 machine successfully. Let's give the write mode for the provider service. PayPal hyphen PayPal like this. Enter. LM. Okay. So successfully we have copied both the microservice in our EC2 machine, successfully prepare the RDS machine, and in that successfully created the database tables and the dummy data. Now let's start both the microservices and test it via Postman. Okay, if the time remains, we are going to try the secret manager of AWS also. So if the time remains, so let's quickly start the both microservices. For that, I'm using the combination of the commands, like three commands allocating the RAM. The first one, we are going to allocate the RAM. For that, using this java-jar. This is a typical command to run the jar file. And here, this specific, this one, this for the memory section. That is the min and max size of the memory, which we are going to use. The second one is the log. So we have to create the log like a processing service log, and the last one is the no hub command for the background running. If we are cancelling or terminate or close this mobax run, though, so the service remains running. So for that we just combine all three commands into one: no hub, min max, and the log. So okay. Let's open this, copy this, no hub hyphen jar, copy. Let me paste here. Sorry, here. Okay, this. Okay. So for that, I'm going to use tail. Sorry, ll. The log file should be created. Okay, the processing service log successfully created. In that, all the logs are going to be written. So let's see. In the logs, it is our service is started or not. For that we using the tail-f processing log. Okay, started. Let's do magic here. Okay, we have started this one. Now let's start the second one, or second microservice, that is a provider one. I'm going to copy this. Okay. Copy. Let me cancel this. Control C. Okay. LL. So the provider log also successfully made. Let's tail-f provider log. Okay. So both these services running fine. Let's test quickly via Postman. Is it working or not? So another command is to check the process running. Let's use the command to check our two, that is the two microservice Java applications is running or not. For double checking, let's use the command ef this grep Java. So both the services running in the port 5546 and 6439. Okay, let's test. Let me make some modification here. The okay, payment ID current status is 4. Let me edit here. I'm going to take the third one, third ID. So let's make this 4 4 4, and let's make it 1. If this going to be 2, means we have successfully. Let me provide some valid reference, provider reference. Wait, I'm going to copy in Postman. Or I am going to wait. I have here also. Let me close this. Now let me close this. Let me open the this connection payments, and I have for local testing I have given here one valid reference which I have created directly via the calling of PayPal create order API, and I have completed this also. The status of this particular reference is completed, is in completed state. So here, wait, I'm going to explain you what I am going to done now. I have to done. So I have created I have only validate one here because I have to take only one transactions. So I'm not going to mismatch another one. So I have crossed the limit of that. So our query till is executing till 3 retry counts only. So I make it 4, so it can pick up only one transaction, and the ID of this is third means the pending. Let's check third transaction status. Third means pending. So when I am going to fire our recon system via Postman, it should give us here 5, means as I say before, that this particular ID I have completed it, I have approved it, and I have captured it also, means it is in a completed state. So our reconciliation system should call this get status of this via provider service, and that provider service called the PayPal system, and PayPal system return us the status of this ID which is completed, and after that when it get the ID completed, it should update here also completed means it is in pending state, means there is some failure in response because of some internet issue and some client close the browser. We assume that there is some failure. So is in this id is in completed state, so we have to mark it as completed here only. So let's check it is working fine or not, and after that there should be two, because we are reconcile this payment one time, so it should be incremented by one. So these three things, these two changes, it should be reflected here, means the retry count should be 2, and the stated transaction status id become 5. 5 means completed, as let's see, 5 means success, or our status becomes success. So let's try via postman. I have created this here, this processing recon. It should return dev here. Let's change this IP. Where is the IP? Here is the IP. Here is the IP. Copy and paste. Okay. Let's call our EC2. Let's first tail -f. Which one? Let's see the processing log. So I'm going to fire now. Let's check it is given as success or not. Oh, one thing. Okay, I have missed one thing. I have to configure our EC2 machine inbound rules also, like we have done for the RDS. I have to configure the bounds of EC2. So let me configure that also. Going to EC2 instance, security. There is security groups. Let's edit inbound rules quickly, like add rules. TCP IP default. Let's which is the port of this, our processing one? What is the port of that? Let's check. Our processing one in 8082. 8082. Custom like 000. Let's save. Okay. Now let's fire. Okay, there is some internal server error. Let's check. Okay, I have submitted some. There is a good one. Okay, let's check. What is the error we got? Okay, it is going. Failure. Here is this EC2 dev communication. The last packet successfully to the server 0 milliseconds. Okay, let's check what is the error. So the problem I found it that I have given the wrong endpoint of the database. That is the endpoint of our EC2 machine. I forgot to configure it on Spring Boot application, so that's why it is giving the error. Let's shoot one more time. I think there now should be fine. Okay, recon trigger. So the basically the error was here in PEM file, or sorry, PEM, that is the property file, dev property file. I have given the previous endpoint. I have not configured the new one, so that's why it is unable to connect to our database. So it is throwing the error. So I have fixed it. Let's check the logs. It is coming fine or not. Okay, it's give us the true, the one update count, and I think here we got the one transaction only. So as we see, let's check in the uh, database. It gives us fine. Okay, the status chain fine means it becomes success. It's changed to fine, and the retry account becomes two. So we have successfully tested our two microservice, means the main purpose to test the reconciliation system. So we have successfully tested. There is no exceptions occur in our both the microservice, our PayPal and PayPal provider and PayPal processing, and we have tested successfully. So so the video is quite long, so I have want to also demonstrate about the secret manager. So for that I'm going to make another video, and after some time I'm going to release that one. So for this video it is only this part. So we have created and tested successfully, created EC2 machine, and uh, testing in our reconciliation system. So thank you.